Robert Fulghum published what would become a popular book called Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. In summary, it states the world could be a better place if adults followed the same basic rules as children, like sharing, being kind to each other, cleaning up after yourself, and living a balanced life of work, play, and learning. Maybe some of you have even read this book. Essentially, it reminds us not to overcomplicate our lives and to treat others the same way we would want to be treated. I wholeheartedly believe the most practical life lessons we learned happened when we were kids. Because being a kid is hard. There is a ton of social pressure to look, dress, and talk like your peers. There is even equal pressure to study hard and get above average grades because our teachers told us we would never get into a good college if we had C's on our report card. And if that 6-hour day wasn't hard enough, then we came home to a house we didn't even own, helped clean up, and followed someone else's rules because they said so. Ugh. If I were asked if I could go back in time to be a kid again, the answer would emphatically be no. But as I mentioned earlier, I do think some of the most important lessons we learned were when we were kids. However, for me, most of those didn't happen in the classroom. Fellow Toastmasters, I'm not here today to remind you of the golden rule. I'm not going to tell you to share your toys with your neighbors. No, I'm here today to tell you about the most important life lessons that I learned as a kid. And those went down on the playground. The first, perseverance is paramount. When I was a kid, I jumped up on the monkey bars for the first time and fell right back down to the ground on my butt. But it was okay. I got up, and I did it again and again until finally I reached out and grabbed that handlebar. And mind you, nobody taught me how to do it. Nobody showed me how to do it or helped me. I just saw the other kids around me swinging from bar to bar and never assumed that I couldn't do it either. As adults, we tend to try to do something that's really hard once, maybe twice. And if we're not good at it, we give up and we move on. We've allowed ourselves this forgiveness to not follow through because life's too short and we should focus on the things we're good at. But the best, most important inventions weren't created on the first try. They were created through perseverance in spite of failure. The next, creativity doesn't come from instructions. My favorite game I used to play on the playground was swinging and jumping from platform to platform, all while trying not to fall in the swirling hot lava below me. Kids aren't handed an instruction booklet on their way out to recess. They use their imagination to make up games and have fun. So why as adults do we constrain ourselves to doing things simply the way we were told to do them? We will never evolve if we do the same thing over and over again the way the person did before us. See, that's what robots do. We teach them how to do something once, and then they do that same thing over and over and over again. And I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like a robot some days. I get up and I do the same thing over and over and over again. It's the rule breakers and the risk takers that change the world. And I try to remind myself often, not all rules are meant to be followed. Which leads me into my next lesson. Sometimes you can't ask for permission for everything you want in life. I had a defining moment when I was 7 years old. I walked up to a group of girls playing on the playground who were playing Foursquare, and I asked if I could stand in line and play. And one of the girls responded with, "No, this is a closed game." I was confused and disappointed. Everyone knows you can stand next to the first line and just wait for the fourth person to get out and jump in. I'd even asked nicely, what was this closed game business? From that point on, I didn't ask if I could play Foursquare anymore. I simply walked up to the line and waited. And when the fourth person got out, I jumped in. And you know what? No one ever said anything to me, and everybody played with me just the same. The odds are, if you ask for permission every time you want something in life, someone's going to tell you no. So then what? I've learned that in some instances, it's okay to ask for forgiveness afterwards than permission ahead of time. And the last lesson, everyone has to wait their turn. Oh, this is such a hard life lesson. No matter what age you are, no one enjoys delayed gratification. No one wants to wait to have fun. But on the playground, you have to wait your turn. Only so many kids can go through those handlebars at once. Only one child can go down the slide at a time. It's patience we learn as kids that is so impactful and profound and affects us in so many aspects of our lives. You see, it's patience that gives us the perseverance to try things over and over again, even if we failed. It's patience that gives us the time to think creatively about how to solve big problems. And it's patience that keeps us focused on our goals in spite of the rules, boundaries, and naysayers. Mr. Toastmaster.